What's up, y'all? Saul Lopez. Gonna be showing you some techniques in Sonar 8.5 for mixing hooks with R&B or for hip hop. I'm gonna show you a couple compression techniques, some EQ, reverb, and delay, as well as how to bus your tracks all down to a main bus, and then throwing an effect on that bus as well. So subscribe to my channel if you like what you see, and let's go.
Okay, so here's a track I did with this Yossarian Bowens for his upcoming album, and just going to show you kind of what we did with the hook. Now when you see the things that I have here and see the different effects units that I put on here, don't necessarily concentrate on if you have the same effects unit as I do. I go out and buy a lot of effects units to use for Sonar. A lot of the ones that come with Sonar are great. You can use them, and if you have some different ones, you can use that. Basically all I'm using here is an EQ, a compressor, and a reverb. And your audio program, whatever it is that you use, should have at least an EQ, a compressor, and a reverb. So it's just how you use those things. It's panning the different parts and just getting a good mix. Now what I do here is once I record it, I'll go ahead and I'll drop it out. I'll direct it to a bus. So you can, if you have like 4 different tracks for a hook that you've done, you can take all 4 of those tracks and send them all to one track. So it makes it easier if you want to add an effect to the whole hook as a whole instead of each individual track. Basically, to add a bus, I just right click, you get insert stereo bus, and you can name it whatever you want. I've named one hook right here. And in order to direct it to my bus, basically just take the track on the output. Instead of it going to the master, I have all these things too. Instead of it going to the master, you can just, here's your buses right here. See, I've made one for Yo's verse, for Saul's verse, for the hook, and then there's a master bus. So I'm going to the hook. Basically, that's going to direct this track to the hook bus. And what I'll do is I went ahead and assigned, here's all my hook tracks that we recorded. I'm going to go ahead and assign all of these tracks to the hook. So once I get the mix down on the hook right, I can go ahead and add a little bit of reverb to the entire hook, or an exciter, or whatever type of effect you want. We'll get into that a little bit later. So first, let me go ahead and play you what we have.
Late nights till the early morning, rock you till the sunrise. We not in a hurry and it's alright.
Okay, so that's his dry vocal. Sounds pretty good. If you need to add some auto tune to it to tune it up a little bit, you can. I'm not going to in this case, just to save some time. It doesn't really need it. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and add this EQ. Basically, I already have these added, but if you need to add an effect in Sonar, you right click right here in this gray box, and you go to audio effects, and then you'll have all your effects here. And like I said, don't concentrate on the effects that I have and the ones that you don't. Basically, I'm going to use a reverb, an EQ, and compression for the first one. You can adjust your settings accordingly, but just pay attention to kind of what I'm doing with the EQ and stuff. So let's go ahead and I arm the EQ. I'm going to pull it up. Basically what I'm doing here, and on most of the tracks, I'll go ahead and drop anything below 40 hertz for the EQ. And then I just play around. EQ is kind of tricky to me. I don't stuff when it comes to audio. Basically, I'll do it by ear. So I'll play with this as it plays.
Late nights till the early morning, rock you till the sunrise.
I like dropping
we not in a hurry.
I like dropping the low end on all of my audio, on all of my vocal tracks. I'll drop the low end. A lot of my instrument tracks, I'll drop the low end under 40 hertz. With the bass and the kick drums, sometimes we'll, depending on what type of song you're trying to do, you might need to EQ the bass a little bit differently. But all of my tracks, I'll definitely drop it, cut off anything below 40 hertz. And then a rule for me when I EQ is I tend to cut. I cut frequencies. I never boost any frequencies. So I'll always cut. It's easier for me to make sure things aren't sounding unnatural. If I boost too much bass or boost too much treble, it starts sounding unnatural to me. So the rule that I use for myself is to always cut. Don't boost for me. So next, I'm gonna go ahead and add a compressor. Now you can do this either way. It might actually be better to put the compressor before the EQ, because the sound is going to go through the effects units this way. So it's going to go through the compressor first, whatever's on top, then the EQ, then the reverb. So compression might be good to go on top. Basically, I'll pull it. For R&B, you can actually soften it out a little bit. There's a little softer knee. Raise the gain up a little bit, and we'll play it. Doesn't really need too much compression.
Late nights to the early morning, rock you till the sunrise. We not in a hurry and it's alright.
And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and add the reverb. Basically, it's a basic reverb. I think what I did here is I did get a little bit of a dark mix to it, just a preset, and then I don't add too much in the mix. I keep it real dry, but maybe add not even 1%, maybe just 0.06% for the mix. You don't need much. It will definitely bring it out here.
Late nights to the early morning, rock you till the sunrise. We not in a hurry and it's alright. We gon' be getting dirty, baby, all night, baby, tonight.
With just those few effects that we put on it. So that's all I'm going to do for this vocal. I think we have two main vocals that we've used. Biggest thing that I worry about, or that I focus on, one of the biggest things other than the effects, is to pan it. You want to pan the vocals in the hook. You want to pan them left and right. Depending on how many vocals you have, you want a nice spread across the board to make it come out better. Since we only have two main vocals for the hook here, I put it left and right. Should be about 40 each. Basically, that'll create a nice spread. On the first hook, you saw the compressor EQ and reverb I put on. I do the same thing with the second, but instead I use the EQ, the compressor. Let's switch it. Compressor, the EQ, and then instead of the reverb, I'll go ahead and put a small delay effect on it. Let me solo it for you so you can hear the delay. Basically, this is just a preset. It's two delays and it goes left and right in the stereo. And I keep it pretty dry just so it's kind of in the background. I don't like to overdo the effects, almost so you don't hear them. The average listener wouldn't hear them, but it adds to the full mix.
Late nights till the early morning, rock you till the sunrise. We not in a hurry and it's alright.
Yeah. So when I put those together, pan this one to the right, pan this one to the left. One with reverb, one with delay, both with compression and EQ. We'll create the full mix like that.
Late nights till the early morning, rock you till the sunrise. We not in a hurry and it's alright.
So that's good right there. Both of them are directed down to my hook bus. There's a few other parts in here. Let's see. He's created, I think these two are going to be some higher octave, higher pitch, and a little bit of, he's kind of blending his vocals so it sounds a little bit different. Let's see how this sounds.
Late nights.
Yep. So these are just going to be the higher pitched, jumps that he does during the hook. And I've done the same thing here. I've done EQ, compression, small delay on this one, same thing. And on this one, I've just put compression and reverb. You can add EQ to it if you like. But on these, if you'll notice, I've panned these out a little bit more. So the first ones, the main ones, are panned about 40% to the left and 40% to the right. anytime you have multiple tracks and you want to spread them out, you want to either do these more or less. I tend to like to work from inside out. So if my main ones are going to be 30-40%, I'll put kind of the backups to the mains like these are at a much more drastic percentage. So let's do about 70 and 70%, and then you just got to mix them so they're kind of a little bit lower volume than the main vocals, because these are just kind of to accompany the main vocal. It creates a really nice spread once you get all the effects on them and pan them. It creates a good spread in the headphones.
Late nights to the early morning, rock you till the sunrise. We not in a hurry and it's alright. We gon' be getting dirty, baby, all night, all night.
Okay, so once you have those main, that's pretty much all we'll go through as far as his hook is concerned. Basically, I've used the EQ, the compression on all of the singing tracks. I've switched it up. I put reverb on some of them, delay on some of them. The reason I switched that up is just to create a little bit of a change between the different tracks. You don't want too much reverb, it starts sounding real hollow. The delay will add that extra added full effect to it, so it kind of brings it out a little bit and sounds full in the mix. So it actually sounds like a hook. It's definitely important to do that. Now, because I bust all of these down to the hook, what I have here is a great plugin. It's called the Vintage Channel. I purchased it. I think I purchased it online a while ago, and basically all of those tracks that I was showing you earlier, they're all directed down to this hook bus, and I've added this hook or this plugin to the hook bus. So you'll see this is without the plugin.
Late nights to the early morning, rock you till the sunrise. We not in a hurry and it's alright. We gon' be getting dirty, baby, all night, baby, tonight.
So this has a built-in, kind of a built-in EQ. It's got a built-in compressor. It's just got some really nice presets. I use this soft vocal with air. It kind of brings out. It's kind of like a exciter almost. But you could use an exciter. You can use a compressor here to kind of level everything out, real soft compression. I'd recommend using. You could use a de-esser here. You could use pretty much anything. If you just keep it real light, you don't want to overdo it, because then it starts sounding like you're adding effects to it. So that's basically it for this lesson on how to do a hook. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them up. I'll see if I can get them answered for you. Thanks for checking me out. Check out Yossarian Bowens when his album drops. I hope you guys pick it up.
Late nights to the early morning, rock you till the sunrise. We not in a hurry and it's alright. We gon' be getting dirty, baby, all night, baby, tonight. Let's watch the Starfield sky turn into sunlight. Let's make it last forever, baby.
Me and you all night till the sunrise. Couldn't be better, baby. Me and you together kicking it.
Late night.
From a late night till the break of day, baby, we gon' be making it naked till we ache in pain. Ain't no stopping us now, it's all night, alright. In the morning you won't even be able to walk right. Yo, but let me digress. Take time, put your mind at rest, and take my eyes off your thighs and chest, and just admire the rest. Yo, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't fine as S. And I confess I'm feeling you ain't like the rest. So baby, maybe me and you can go crazy tonight. Feeling lucky,